Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Happy Valentine's Day. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. Alright, we'll set this aside. We do have a crude oil inventory session coming up at 10:30 this morning. So, starting off on crude oil, 9 a.m. start. So right 10 seconds after our start time, we pick up the long trade. Definitely should have been in. It went kind of back and forth for almost 2 minutes on that next bar. Definitely time to get it. It was time to get in it. Goes ultimately up to target 1 for 20 ticks and back to the break-even stop out at 78.32. Entry at 78.31. One and done session on crude, and we move on to unleaded. Pretty similar situation on unleaded. 7 seconds after our 9 o'clock start time, we get a long trade, sets up just below the 50 EMA. I would have, if I were trading that, I would have moved that up to 921. It's a 5-tick adjustment, but as small as the ticks on unleaded are, I don't think that's unreasonable. I'm just taking out some insurance. That picks up target 1 would have been 33 ticks, target 2 would have been 65, and then we trail out over here at 933, which would have been 12 ticks from the adjusted entry. So a solid trade, neither one huge, but both one and done sessions. Crude current so we can continue to watch, and I'll bring up the micro NQ. It should be right there. So the micro NQ just stopped out of an early short trade, so we'll wait 4 minutes after market open, which is within a minute now. YM has a get in sync short that was a tough. It's come down to 25 twice since after going below. Market is not quite open yet. Another 25 seconds. Micro Russell is gone too far. We'll look for a new trade there. Soybeans has a potential long trade at 81 3/4. That's a get in sync. The YM get in sync short, I would put it not where ideal, but I'd put it at 26. And the market is open and it stops out, so it's no trade anyway. And soybeans pops up to target 1, so that's also a no trade. So looking for new trades on soybeans and the YM and the Russell. We have 4-minute wait to our start time on the micro NQ. Now we did have we have a trade that we're in on the pound Aussie. Latest trade is we get in sync with this trade that's set up just before 8:30, and we are taking a little bit of heat right now. Stop at 364. There's a short trade on the YM. That was a little bit far, but we certainly are getting sync at this point on it. And in the short trade on the YM. And the YM stops and reverses to long. And now we stop and reverse back to short on the YM. Russell picking up a solid short trade. And we did get in sync with, no, we didn't get in sync with our long trade. We've got a new long trade, and this is an add-on on soybeans. Not a big trade. Entry is at 84.5. With the stop down at 81.25. All right, we're in our micro NQ trade plan. Stopped out of the short on the micro Russell. Picked up a long that was a break even. Took a full loss on a short. Let's see, was that too fast to have dealt with? $35.20. Yes, that was too fast to have. Yeah, 8 seconds to the close of the second bar. So that was a no trade. No trade on the long, touched the entry, and then went to the stop. So that's a no trade. Likely too fast to have gotten the entry in anyway. So we have a one win, one break even. A couple of no trades there. Still long in the pound Aussie. And we stopped out of the YM short after getting target one and almost target one on the trailer. We are in the long, the add-on long on soybeans. And another short on the micro Russell. And plenty of time to get into that one. And that's hit target one. Looks like one tick beyond it maybe. Is that enough to go? Yep, one tick. That's money management. I wasn't watching carefully, but there's a good chance that was a break-even stop out intra-bar. And it's a break-even stop out anyway. So, one win, two break-evens. on the micro Russell. Looking for our first trade on the micro NQ. Target 1 achieved on soybeans, so this will be a one and done session. Stop comes to 84 3/4. Target 2 at 87.5. Picked up 7 points. We're within 2 ticks of target. And target 3 is at 88.5. So a little bit more push, and we'll have some solid winners there. We got a win on soybeans. We just have to see where it goes. YM doing a little dip there, giving us the dark blue trade off the 20 SMA. It looks like it just barely triggered in and then went the opposite way. For a full stop out. So we have a stop and reverse, a full stop out and reverse to short, which was successful. And then we have another small full stop out. It's a mixed bag this morning on YM. Long trade on the micro Russell and a long trade on the micro NQ as well. And the micro Russell trade getting to break even. Stop at 95.3. Micro Russell keeps flirting with that 2,000 level the last few days of trading. And go up above it and then come back down below it. And back above today, or back just below today, almost getting above. Looks like it has been above in this session. I can see 1999. So where is our, yeah, session high at 03.5. That one's going to be a little hard to adjust around the 50, but we still got to money management, almost up to target 3, which is our first take profit target. 98 flat, and it looks like we got within 1 tick of it. That's that one I'd want to at least take the position off at target 2. Not give it all the way back to the break-even stop, which is what happened. Micro NQ, long, working its way up toward the money management. Soybeans picking up targets 2 and 3. Stop now. We can pick up the trailing stop off of the subsequent trade, 86 1/4. And money management on Micro NQ, trailing stop to 772 3/4, and a short trade on the Micro Russell. If you trade for profit within a tick of your target on the Micro Russell, and that's going to be at least a break even. I call it 2 wins, 2 break evens at this point. This will be the fifth trade. It's at least going to be another break even. Still surviving. Soybeans setting new session highs. No, there's a new short on the YM, 384. It's like 369 for money management. That's also very close to the 200 EMA. 382, 384 for the entry. For the entry, 382. 5 ticks is a bit big, yet for only a 17 tick target 1. Yeah, that's too big an adjustment to make to get around the 200. So with only 17 ticks to target 1, we're going to go to target 2 on this one. All right, big candle on this one, and stopping out for a break even. Looks like I think we did it again here. I think we got within 1 tick of our profit target, 92 flat. Yep, we did it again. So I would call that a win, and should take profit on that position at least target 2. 3 wins, 2 break evens. One more trade. And the YM triggered short, almost down to money management. And I believe we got goes 78. Yeah, we got money management. So the stop will go to 83 and break even stop out. That's trade number 5. We can take one more trade there as well. And it looks like a break even stop out on the Micro NQ. And stopping out at 86 1/4 on soybeans. That's a power of quitting. One and done. All 3 targets plus target 1 on the trailer. So that looks like 7, 12, 16, and 7. So 14, 26, 42 ticks. 13 points. No, I'm sorry. 42. 10 and a half points. So $550 trade. One trade remaining on YM. One trade remaining on the micro Russell. And with all of that, I wasn't watching. We got into a short on the micro NQ after one break even so far. Still long on the pound Aussie. Long trade for trade number 6 on the micro Russell. $96.2 for the entry. Money management on the micro Russell, so no losses today on the Russell. This should be, you should be positive, definitely. We had one solid winner, two trades that missed our targets by 1 tick. So trade for profit and count those as winners. And we're getting within pretty close to in that area on this trade. Went to a high 88, a 98.9. And looked like our target. Yeah, we're within 1 tick of target on this one as well. So I would take the position at target 2. Would have taken the position at target 2. But you still have target 3 and trail positions on. Please do say hello in the chat. Helps me to know who's here. Hey Brett, how are you doing this morning? Personally, when I get a tick, and there's full target if you waited on it on the micro Russell, so definitely target 3 winner. And looks like we may pick off a target 4. 99.8. And we just touched target 4, so Target 3 and Target 4 winner. Trailer at 96.9 it looks like. Micro NQ reversing direction also. We're taking some heat on the, and we have a potential stop and reverse on the pound Aussie. That will be a stop out at 64. Reversing at the full stop if we get there. And I'll leave that one where it was. Yeah, I would go to 89 on the entry on that one. I hadn't looked at that yet. That was right around the 50 EMA again. Not big enough to go to 91, but all right, the Russell stopped out at the 96.9 trailer, ending the session with 4 wins. If you use our normal, if you get within 1 tick of profit target, then you count it as a win and take profit. Pound Aussie staying positive, still in the long. Now about halfway up between the reversal and the stop and the entry. So that and the Micro NQ, the only charts still active. Well, no, we've got one more trade we can take on the YM. Good morning, Mark. I hope the weather is good in South Florida. I enjoyed the weather at Christmas time in Central Florida, and then took a week-long cruise down into the Keys right after the first of the year. And we got a full stop out and a long setup at 781.5 on the Micro NQ. Looks like we just hit that, and that gave us plenty of time to have the order in. So unless you didn't get filled, or if you didn't get filled, I would have pushed the entry up a tick or two. But should be in this trade. And we're getting a solid long, all 1 tick away from money management, it looks like. Target 1 at 798 flat, and we're there. So stop at 781 3/4. You have 1 break even, 1 loss, and this will be at least a break even. and a long trade setup that I wasn't watching. If you didn't already get in it, it's get in sync. Entry at 402. We got as high as 404. 4 ticks is a pretty big adjustment, but 31 tick target, yeah, that one's worth it. So I'd take that to 406 if you didn't already get in that. YM kind of in a squeeze situation. Price is kind of in between the 50 and 200 as they squeeze together. Getting noisy on the micro Russell side. Good thing we're done in that market. Pound Aussie still wandering about, having trouble getting up through the 50 EMA. Made one excursion up there, got us in the trade, and now it's living below the 50, between the stop and the 50 EMA. YM taking another run at the 50 EMA. Break even stop out on the micro NQ. So trade number 3 is break even. YM is going to break one way or the other at some point here. And there is a close above the 50. Let's see if it can make this one stick. Pushing up toward our entry, adjusted entry at 406, and there it is. So in the long trade on the YM, last trade for that trade plan, trade number 6. And we have about 9 minutes to follow it before we break for the crude oil inventory session. And now we pull back to the 50 again. We will see where it goes, but kind of a head and shoulders there almost on the YM. But we weren't able to break the waistline and get back in, get to head higher yet. And back to the 200 EMA on the YM. YM right back into the area between the 50 and the 200. So no breakout yet, although we are in the long trade, even with the adjusted entry. Pound Aussie still long. That trade has been running since 8:30 this morning, so an hour and a half already. Or very shortly after 8:30. And Micro Russell and Micro NQ appearing to signal both starting down moves. Micro Russell pushing through the 200, its 200 EMA, and the YM pushing through its 200 as well. See if it's going to stay. This could be the break downward or no, right back to the 200. So don't know yet, and the Micro Russell back to the 50 EMA. So. Market's definitely looking for direction at this point. Micro Russell and YM seem to be on slow drifts downward, it looks like, and the Micro NQ on a slow drift upward. 5 more minutes to resolve things, and then we'll break for the crude oil inventory session. Crude oil inventory session at 10:30 today. A reminder at this point, crude oil inventory session next week will be 11 o'clock on Thursday due to the holiday on Monday. And all three indices just meandering about. Russell showing a long trade right at just above the 50, and then it pulls right back down into the space between the 50 and 200. YM's still in the right back into the 50 to 200 space, which is getting closer and closer. Only 10 ticks now between the 50 and the 200. 10 points on the YM. Short trade set up and triggering in. I would want to try to adjust that around the 50 EMA. $50 EMA is at 83.77. The entry's at 84.50. That's 3 ticks. And you can go to 83.50. I think we got there anyway. Yeah, we got down to 83 on the very next bar. Unfortunately, now taking heat. Short, stop and reverse short still valid on the pound Aussie, but still long. That did trigger into the short on micro NQ and taking heat. Stop at 804. Oh my goodness, we have another excursion above the 50 and right back to the middle again. All right, it's quarter after. I am going to take about a 10-minute break, close down this session, take about 10 minutes to set up the crude oil inventory report charts, and be back around 10:25 in preparation for the crude oil inventory report at 10:30. And we'll wait our 2 minutes and start looking for trades at 10:32. All right. Still about the same pace. Pound Aussie going sideways. Micro NQ going sideways. YM going sideways. We'll break it here and talk to you in about 10 minutes.